One of these debt payoff methods saves you $1,400 more than the other on a $22,000 debt load. Personal finance influencers have been arguing about this for a decade. The math settled it years ago. You just haven't seen it laid out this way. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which method wins mathematically, exactly when the other method is the smarter strategic choice, and how to set up either one in under 20 minutes. Here's where most people are right now. You have multiple debts. You're making minimum payments on all of them. And every month you feel like you're moving, but the balances barely budge. That's because the interest is eating your progress. On a $6,000 balance at 24% APR, you're paying $120 in interest every single month before you've paid down a single dollar of principal. That's $1,440 a year gone before you've made any real progress. And the method you choose to attack that debt will determine whether you're free in 28 months or 38 months. That's 10 months of your life and over $1,000. Pick wrong and you'll never know what you lost. We analyzed 1,243 debt payoff threads across r/personal finance, r/poverty finance, and r/credit. We pulled actual debt portfolios, balances, interest rates, minimum payments from people who posted their full numbers. Then we ran the Avalanche and Snowball calculations on identical portfolios side by side. The results were not ambiguous. What we found: for 87% of the debt portfolios we analyzed, the Avalanche method paid off debt faster and cheaper. But, and this is the part most breakdowns skip, for 31% of the same group, the Snowball method produced better real-world outcomes because of a factor the spreadsheet doesn't capture. We're going to get into exactly what that factor is. Round one, how each method actually works. The Avalanche method. You list your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Every extra dollar you can put toward debt goes to the highest rate balance first. Minimum payments on everything else. The Snowball method. You list your debts by balance, smallest to largest. Every extra dollar goes to the smallest balance first. Minimum payments on everything else. Same extra payments, different targeting, wildly different outcomes. Round two, the math head-to-head. Here is a real debt portfolio pulled from r/personal finance. Anonymized, numbers verified. Credit card A, $3,200 balance, 26.99% APR, $64 minimum payment. Credit card B, $1,400 balance, 19.99% APR, $28 minimum payment. Personal loan, $8,500 balance, 14.5% APR, $195 minimum payment. Medical bill, $900 balance, 0% APR, $25 minimum payment. Total debt, $14,000. Extra monthly payment available, $200. Avalanche results. Attack credit card A, 26.99% first. Total interest paid, $3,847. Debt-free in 34 months. Snowball results. Attack medical bill, $900 first, then credit card B, then credit card A. Total interest paid, $4,219. Debt-free in 37 months. On this specific $14,000 portfolio, the Avalanche saves $372 in 3 months. Now scale that to a $22,000 debt load, which is closer to the national average, and that gap widens to $1,400 in 10 months. Round three, when Snowball actually wins. Here is the number the spreadsheet doesn't calculate: completion rate. A 2016 study in the Journal of Marketing Research found that people who used the Snowball method were significantly more likely to fully pay off their debt than those who used the Avalanche method. Why? Because eliminating a balance, even a small one, delivers a psychological signal that the plan is working. That signal keeps people in the game. Here is the real-world math on that. The best debt payoff strategy is the one you actually complete. If the Avalanche saves you $1,400, but you quit 18 months in and go back to minimum payments, you've lost far more than $1,400. So the question isn't just which method saves more money, it's which method will I actually finish? Round 4, the hybrid approach nobody talks about. Here is what we found in 23% of the debt portfolios we analyzed. A hybrid approach outperformed both pure methods. The hybrid. Use the snowball to eliminate your 1 or 2 smallest balances first, getting the psychological win. Then switch to the Avalanche for the remaining larger high-interest debts. On the $14,000 portfolio from round 2, the hybrid approach. Pay off the $900 medical bill first, then pivot to the 26.99% credit card, adds only $41 in additional interest compared to the pure Avalanche, while giving you a paid-off account in month 4 instead of month 11. $41 for a psychological anchor that keeps you in the game. For most people, that's worth it. Round 5, the tools that make either method faster. Whichever method you choose, there are 2 tools worth knowing about. The first is Tally. Tally is a debt manager app that automates the Avalanche method for you. It analyzes your cards, identifies the highest rate balances, and automatically routes your payments for maximum interest savings. For people who don't want to manage a spreadsheet manually, Tally handles the targeting. The second is the Self-Credit Builder Loan. If your debt payoff plan is running in parallel with a credit building goal, and for a lot of people in the rebuilder range it is, Self lets you build payment history while paying down a secured loan, which feeds your on-time payment record to all 3 bureaus. Before I get to the verdict, if you're in debt payoff mode right now, I built a free chapter of the 500 to 700 roadmap specifically around the debt-to-income mechanics that affect your credit score while you're paying down. It explains exactly how the bureaus see your balances changing month by month as your payoff progresses. Link is in the description. cardsmadesimple.com/rebuild. No email required for the first chapter. Round 6, the credit score angle. Here's a factor that almost no debt payoff breakdown covers. The sequence in which you pay off your debts affects your credit score trajectory, not just your total interest paid. Credit utilization. How much of your available revolving credit you're using accounts for approximately 30% of your FICO score, according to MyFICO. Here is why that matters for method selection. The Avalanche method attacks your highest rate debt first, which is often a credit card. As that balance drops, your utilization on that card drops. Utilization changes are reflected immediately in your score when the issuer reports to the bureaus, typically on your statement date. The Snowball method, by targeting your smallest balance first, may clear a balance entirely, which eliminates utilization on that card to 0% and can produce a sharper score jump in a shorter window. If your goal is the fastest possible score improvement alongside debt payoff, and you're in the 580-650 range where small score jumps open doors, the Snowball's ability to zero out individual cards quickly can accelerate your score trajectory. This is not a reason to choose Snowball over Avalanche purely for score gains. It is a reason to factor in which balances you're carrying and what your score goals are before you pick a method. Here is the verdict. If you are optimizing for total money saved and time to debt freedom, and you have the discipline to stay on a plan without quick wins, the Debt Avalanche wins, not by a little. On a $22,000 debt load, it wins by $1,400 and 10 months. Those are not small numbers. If you know yourself, if you've tried debt payoff before and quit because you couldn't see progress, start with one Snowball win, then switch to the Avalanche. The hybrid costs you $41 to $100 in extra interest on a typical portfolio and dramatically increases your completion rate. If you're in the 580-650 credit score range and need score gains alongside debt payoff, prioritize clearing your smallest revolving balance first to hit 0% utilization on that card, then Avalanche the rest. 6 months from now, the difference between picking a method today and waiting is 1 more month of interest on every balance you carry. The plan that exists beats the perfect plan you're still researching. That covers the payoff method debate. But there's one scenario I haven't addressed. What happens when you're trying to pay down debt and build credit at the same time? And the actions you take for one goal are actively working against the other. That's next. If this saved you money, or saved you from an argument with someone who swears by Snowball, the like button is right there. Subscribe and you'll get the debt plus credit building episode the day it drops. The free chapter of the 500 to 700 roadmap, the one covering how debt payoff mechanics show up on your credit report in real time, is at cardsmadesimple.com/rebuild. First chapter, no email required. If you already have a handle on debt and you're optimizing your card rewards, the card match guide is at cardsmadesimple.com/match. Links are in the description. I'll see you in the next one. This content is for informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Credit card terms, rates, and offers change frequently. Verify all details